be an Apple, or it doesn't have to be an Apple phone or whatever. And that gives me a lot better communication. So I'm, really willing to do that with people. I just need more contacts and, follow one up on some of our past presenters. Keep going. Because I think we're starting to get organized as a club again. With our meetings are getting a little more regular. So get back on the bandwagon. Last year we got 12 new members come in. We lost a couple. We've already lost one this year. We got the Hewitts come in. So we've gotten 2 new members this year already.
August, we're gonna have at least another 5.
Yeah, you gotta have at least 15 new members because you have some people as we have already noticed, we've lost one already. And it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And again, anybody knows any name, someone who you think would be a good Rotarian in our club or otherwise. I mean, I think in my mind that our goal is to help people get involved and help our community. So if they're going to be a morning person, we got a morning club or 2 around. Push them early. I understand doing that and help.
I had an interesting conversation with one of my neighbors on Saturday evening, and she's a member of the Tidewater Group subcommittee. And I'm telling her, hey, whenever you're ready, we'll back up and I review. She said, Tidewater asked.
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Your name is Kim? Kim, yes, ma'am.
Cody.
She didn't want to give up her membership in Tidewater, even if she lives there full time. She has an office up there. But the possibility exists to maybe have her join our meeting as well.
Yeah.
Even on the hybrid meetings where we're doing it by Zoom. So there's an opportunity there. She may join the satellite. Just
she can't make it. Just
So there's opportunity there too.
Yeah, pass her the invite.
So again, different opportunities are presenting themselves because it's so different how we have to do this.
Right.
So,
And I'm getting out to. We have a lot of clubs in the district that aren't meeting at all. Clubs, even a couple of the really big clubs, Kingston and Adore. That was back the right accent, right?
The danger there is you start getting traction.
Oh yeah,
You're not there.
I mean, I think I feel like we have been very pushing forward to get on the Zoom and get on, keeping it active, keeping everybody touched. And I know touch base with several of our members that we haven't seen on Zoom in a month or 2 or at the meetings. And that's just the key. And even if friend loves her club and wants to stay there, we'd love to have her.
Hybrid too.
Yeah, send me her and tag Stan, because a lot of times she'll set up the meeting. Her email address, and we'll put her in the rotation. And if she wants, I mean, I'll please ask her, but we'll that way she gets that Zoom invite every week, every Monday. So.
Yeah. Well, we're very fortunate here that we keep having a turnover in people. That residents come and go at a pretty good rate here, and they all bring unique experiences, and a lot of them are Rotarians. So, cool.
Let's get into the meat and that's nice. Everyone, I don't see any meat, I don't see any potatoes. It's you. You gotta look in the mirror. First thing I'm gonna do is you all obviously don't have a problem. Here's your giving for last year compared to all the other clubs. Y'all are doing very well. Keep doing it. Don't change. I shouldn't say don't change. Keep improving. Keep improving.
Yes. Keep growing.
Holger Knock, our international president, had 3 requests of me when I go visit clubs. Number one, hold a Discover Rotary Day meeting maybe once every 6 months. In other words, don't have a program other than talk about Rotary and bring potential members. That's one way. So hold one of those at the Visitors Day. The other thing he said is try to hold one strategic
planning meeting and ask yourself one question: where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years? That's something we all should do, but don't take the time to do. I mean, you can look out and see where you want your club to be. I don't know how many of y'all have built a home. If you have, I'm sure you had a blueprint. Do the plans. You know, your membership committee, you got obviously the best here, so you're in great shape. But I try to remind boards to have the membership committee comprised of the boards that are accountability. You also giving wise, polio, we need to average about $49 per capita per person to meet our district goal. And I thought it might be fun. We're all familiar with the Paul Harris Society. I thought, why don't we have a Polio Plus Association for the district? So I created one as of July 1st, and I designed a little medallion. Basically, to be a member, you need to pledge $100 a year until polio is eradicated. So it's affordable. When it's eradicated, it could be 3 years, it could be 5, but I think it's pretty good. For being a member, there's a form on our district website, Club Resources. And you basically fill it out, make a pledge, and you send it to Bryson Bateman, our district polio plus chair, or me. So I know you've done it, and we'll send you a medallion. On one side is our district logo. On the other side is somebody you may know, Rocky Jacobs, who probably does more for polio in our district. So I thought that was sort of fun. Each district governor has a sort of a pet project. Stand for the Lines for Smiles. You had, let's see, Lee Adams was a Guatemala Literacy Project. Tracy's last year was a mobile unit of Sumatra to help folks. Mine's the Ghana Water and Sanitation. We're not creating our own global brand. We're basically sending money to one that's already being worked.
Get your napkin.
The guy running this, Walter Hughes, he's been doing this for about 15 years. He recognized the White House only 5 or 6 years ago. He's one of the top volunteers in the country. It's not just Rotary, it's volunteers everywhere. He's very good at it. We've got a Virginia who's going to be speaking at our district conference, but obviously we're postponing that till next year. But a good guy. But you can see they're going to be putting in 25 borehole wells, 141 microflush toilets. It's being monitored by a couple clubs in Ghana. So any funds you all wish to donate to that cause, please do. It's based on your club size, the recommendation, and you can make it out to the Global Ghana Water and Sanitation Project. It counts towards your foundation giving, and send it to our treasurer. Okay. Other than that, thank you for what you do. You want to make it happen, make it rock and roll. Stand there and have a good time with membership. CDs. Membership is very high on my list of priorities. It's probably my #1 priority. Our district has suffered over many years of stagnation. Be up 1 year, down the next. There are clubs doing very well in our district and outside of our district. There are other districts that have continued to grow because they have an infrastructure to make it happen. This is not a 1 year thing. This is a multi-year change the culture of our clubs to understand what membership is all about. You're lucky to have Stan give you the idea of what to expect in August or July when people nosedive, when our numbers nosedive, because we need December. We need to plan for that. The average loss per club is 14.1% on average across the board. You need to plan for that. So if you want to have growth, you need to grow faster than the rate that you're losing people. It's that simple. So I've got a pretty high goal. I'm asking every Rotarian to bring in 1 new member in the next 11 months. That's a tall order. I don't expect it to happen. If we did, we'd double in size. It'd be a good thing. But if 20% do it, we'll be up about 20%. We'll beat the curve and we'll continue on. membership advocates along with your AGs in each area to help that process. Any club that is willing to work to growth, Stan, myself, and membership advocates, AGs will help you do that. I plan on getting out when things open up and having for Rotary, Discover Rotary Days by area, where you can invite all the prospects you want to, and we'll go through what Rotary is all about and why they should. It's a no obligation thing. Just come here, learn about Rotary, what we do. I did it in my home club. It worked. Back when I was club president, we had about 35 members. I was new to Little Washington, new to many people. I was around and said, we need some new blood here, get some new ideas. And I went through a list of Chamber of Commerce directory, reverse business directory, scoured the paper, see who was doing what. And I made up a list of about 120 people. I thought, these would be good people to have in the club from what I could see. And I took it to my board and said, you got to grow membership. How many of you know these people? Put your name next to them. If you're inviting them, I'm not, because I don't know them. It becomes better when you know that person. And we invited a bunch to our country club, had a little 20-minute PowerPoint presentation, what Rotary is all about, what our dues are. We were a noon club. I said, well, how many of you eat lunch? They all raise their hand. Well, if you take that lunch price out of the equation and you look at the dues, you're basically paying about 55 cents a day to be a member of a dynamic club. So it worked. It started something. We went from 30 some to 50 some to 60, now we're at 83. But we have no more room to meet in our building. We are too big now. So we're going to start a breakfast club. I'm doing the exact same thing. We're inviting people over phone calls, come hear about Rotary. If you want me to do a Zoom with you, I'll do a Zoom. If not, we'll meet you down here Friday afternoon at 3. We'll be socially distanced, and you can watch a PowerPoint, see if it's something you want to do. And I guess about 6 or 8 right now. I've got another thing coming up this Friday. So we'll start as a satellite club, like you all talked about, and it will build, and it will grow. They say the Newton Club in Washington runs it, the Evening Club owns it. I think there's a lot of truth in that. A lot of guys in the Evening Club just like to write checks. But if there's anything you need in Washington, chances are to come to our club, you can find out who you can talk to. Get it. So it's fun. You all do a great job. Thank you for what you do. I'm thrilled to be here live in person. I may be your most boring presentation here, but I'm glad to be here.
Oh, no,
So, anyway, that's all I've got.
All right. Thank you for coming. And I will, would you send me a link at some point to go over grant and where, and then we'll just vote via email how much?
All about it, there's no link.
Yeah.
You can write a check, make it out of the Rotary Foundation for the Ghana Water Sanitation Project. Okay. And I have a global grant number on that thing somewhere. If not, I can get it. It's up on top. But if you just say Ghana Water and Sanitation, send it to our district treasurer, she'll know exactly what it's for.
Yeah, you put the Ghana Water Project, and if we have the grant number, put that in the memo line.
I don't think I've got it in here, but I
Let's do it now. Do I have a motion for us to commit at least to the $500 contribution point for the district government? All right.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
There
you.
you go. And we'll,
What I'm going to do, what we're going to do is file all these checks and send them off in one check to Walter Hughes, who's running this. They'll know what to do with it. They'll be thrilled. And I'll be thrilled. Good. So thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. And thanks for coming. I know this is the whirlwind part of your district governorship.
It's rock and roll.
Although Dan wishes he didn't have to put as many miles, about as many as you're putting on your car. I remember him driving all over everywhere.
Yeah, hitting bears and everything. Yeah. I'm not putting as many miles on my car right now. I may end up putting more on as things open back up, because I'll be going back to clubs. But this is really the fun part of it all, where I get to meet people, put a face with a name, and it's a lot of fun. Please remember that we are here to help you. Our whole job is to support the clubs. So feel free to reach out whenever you need something. If I don't have the answer, I can get it. That's what I do. So anything I can do to make your job easier, I'm willing to do.
And we're willing to ask.
Good. There are no Rotary police.
Just auditors.
Yeah. Do much fun. But that's all I have. I'm short. All right. Thanks for doing it.
All right, man. I'll show my son this. I've got $1 million bill. Here's the road. I have the best savings 6-year-old on the beach. I can tell you that because he's got over $200 that he just doesn't spend it, and when people give him, he's tucked it away. And he came to me about 4 or 5 months ago, and I thought, Dad, I really want a $100 bill. I said, well, son, you gotta earn it. And he said, no, I have $100. I need the bill. Can you get me a $100 bill and can we trade? Sure enough, he pulled out, 4 20s and 2 10s. I got him a $100 bill. That's great. So he's got his little cash thing, he saves it, and
I've got a brother-in-law whose son was like that. He would not spend money. He wouldn't save it. By the time he got to college, he paid his way through pharmacy. Yeah. Wow. He's doing quite well now, but the guy he's a deal maker.
I wish I could say that for my kids.
I wouldn't even say it for me.
all right, well, Stan, you've got, I kind of skipped over a little bit of dues, but I think Kern put at our last meeting that he had invoices out through, and we're good on invoices until sending them out the next round, which I believe is in September. But we are going to have to figure out what kind of due plan that we're going to do. I mean, outside of our Rotary International District dues, I mean, those are basic. So,
The big question that we were discussing was what to do about the meetings.
yeah.
You need to have that minimum, pay these guys, for the sea ranch. So, yeah.
In the past, 3 or 4 meetings that we've had, hired a person,
We're
kind of involved in regards to who's showing up.
yeah.
Excuse me. So, I mean, that's one way, I guess we could possibly look at it. Also approach the guys, members who may eventually become comfortable, start joining us.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think as we have more meetings, people are gonna want to come. And most of the people like, I think, coming to the meetings and the social aspect of it. So I think my take on it, and you tell me on the work end, because you'll be doing the figuring out, but at least for the next 3 to 6 months, keep those attendance and then just bill everybody who shows up at the meeting. And it's for these past couple meetings and probably for the next few, but I don't know, maybe not today. Good group for the meeting, so we'll probably just eat into the kitty a little bit, but bill everybody what the normal would have been, and then we'll revisit this and say 3 months. We'll revisit it after we're done kind of planning for Lincoln Oyster, and then what we may just have to do is prorate it for everybody showing up, kind of what the average is going to be, or have everybody just pay a guest fee. But we will have to kind of prorate it a little bit. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I understand it. So that you're going to go back to normal billing
For
or?
this billing cycle, we're gonna take attendance and Joe's gonna tab on attendance. So if you show up for a meeting, you get billed what you normally would have been for that 3 months. And then, and it may go a little bit beyond 3 months because like, you know, we're not gonna try to figure it all out in October 1st. But towards the middle to end of October, once we get Lincoln Rooster, Lincoln Rooster this year, we will see, and we may have to prorate it so that, you know, it may go up a little bit just because we have that minimal meeting. Or look at other options if we're not adopting back to our,
Normal attendance.
yeah.
Have we talked to them? Have we sat down and talked to them by any chance and just asked them if there's any way possible to lower it?
I think Kearns did.
We did a year or
That
so
they,
ago.
yeah, they were kind of resistant to.
Oh, and there's a, well,
They
and
had-
there,
they
and
had
I,
cost
Just
to it,
because
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if we had to, we could go back to, I don't know how y'all feel about it. I mean, lesser meals or, I don't know if that would help, but I'd be more than happy to talk to them if you want.
Yeah, if you will, and
Just to
maybe,
see if they could lower
well,
it.
let's see where we are the next couple meetings.
What are we averaging, 12,
You've averaged about 12 or
13?
12, 13. Yeah.
And our minimums,
At the last meeting I attended, 5 was maybe 15, 16. Pretty close to it.
what's our minimum supposed to be?
18.
18, okay.
Even if we split the dues and we filled the basic dues and then we required everyone to do some things for the lunch meeting, pay the guest fee or whatever.
Yeah.
And if there is some shortfall beyond that, then we could,
Yeah.
we could take it out of the. That's a thought. It's a little more work to do it that way, but
Well, that's fine.
I think people might get resistant to paying the full dues if they're not making it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, and our full due really wouldn't be that because we're meeting every other week at house anyway. So
Right.
I wanna say it's usually 400 or so bucks for a meeting. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but we're having it close enough that we're not gonna be eating into our funds much for the next couple meetings. And the ones that we've had, we'll have had 6 or 7. So, I don't think we're gonna, but we can't continue, I don't think, beyond that unless we start getting 18 or close. And then that's when we definitely gonna have to talk to them or figure something else out.
Right.
Is that some original plan?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, what some clubs are doing is, some that meet virtually like my own. And they reduce the dues, they take the meals out of it. But they aren't reducing it totally.
You gotta have,
You gotta have some growth there, and
Yeah,
and people understand. That's why we're in Rotary. So,
you gotta have some club dues.
yeah,
Yeah, not just
We have-
meals. Yeah.
reduce it that much.
Yeah, and I think once we figure out what we're doing, we really need to get that communicated to the club members, especially our new members. You know, like
Yeah.
Cameron has brought it up every meeting.
Yeah.
My husband keep asking me where the invoice is. You know, she came on a month back into last year. So we probably just need to get her an invoice for that month. And he was asked, but they're really not due because we bill in arrears. But how do we do that?
We do, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Are we heard?
Sure.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But it's
Because I
kind of
mean, I
sounded
had
like
all
we were.
Big craziness.
Yeah,
It was because it was building ahead and they were like, well, we're not in this, so we're not paying it.
You take these fees,
We might make it clear that part of the dues is not for meals, that it's in fact that's going to continue on.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I know it.
But does everybody understand that? I know in our club, we had to keep saying that on an ongoing basis.
Well,
I think it was pretty from my perspective, when I first went to Stan, it made it pretty clear to me that, there's a component of fees. You break it all down for me, what it's comprised of, and then there's the cost of the meal added into it. So I've always understood it to be that way, but there could be some folks that don't. But I would think most people probably do that.
And if we do pay it, add on, well, why don't we bounce this around a little bit more? I won't mention anything about it today. But that would be what my thought would be, is try to figure out some sort of deal for meetings with people that are going to show up. And then,
Yeah.
I gotta have a meeting with them anyway, so.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll throw that one in at the end. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got it.
Speaking of it, it's a small fund.
All right, Dan.
Oh.
Rotary Foundation donation.
Melanie? Hey, Melanie, our assistant governor. The Outer Banks Relief Foundation. I got a request from another Rotarian who happens to be on the board of the Outer Banks Relief Foundation, requesting the money because they got offered a matching grant of $25,000, and they're trying to make that up. Their fundraiser got canceled. They do a lot of good work. The person that requested that was our sugar dealer over here. Great Rotarian, does a lot of support, always supported the Lincoln Oyster. Yeah, he's a good supporter. He gave me a new pickup to drive during the parade 2 years ago. At a $75,000 price tag.
He was doing it this year.
Yeah, he was,
He was
wasn't
doing it.
he? Yeah. Anyway, I know we don't have a lot of money, but I wanted to put out what it was to the club members. If anybody wanted to donate, they could donate to our foundation and it'd be a pass. And we're doing that also with, what was the other one that we were doing? It was a pass through to our foundation.
Oh, for Windsor. So
Windsor.
Local business owner we know, who has ties to Richland County, knew the family that unfortunately the mother, I believe, passed away, but the dad was injured, broke his back, and several other injuries, and then the guy that worked with him, done some work for him. His brother was injured as well. So they live in a trailer, so there's no we did a pass through our foundation basically so they could work. Yeah, and when do you know when they need an answer?
By the end of the month.
That's what I was saying. And I guess not.
Yeah, I just wanted to come to the board with a request to publicize it. That, if anybody wants to donate, send a check to our foundation, just tag it with the Outer Banks. Or if they want to give directly, I mean, I just used our vehicle, it's still a 501c3 over there. I just wanted to publicize the need. I mean, it's nice to get a matching donation, but, it's like polio every year. It's that money from Bill and Melinda Gates, those millions and millions of dollars, those are all matching. And we have to make the money before they give it. Yeah, a 2-for-1 match is great.
Can the online payments be tagged? We also have a memo. Is there a PayPal for payments to the foundation where we want to tag?
Oh,
That's what because,
yeah.
There should be a memo line on the PayPal link
Yeah,
that if you send out a blast email, just put
yeah.
on there if you want this to go to the Outer Banks.
I'll I'll take a look at that. So I get
But there should be a memo line on the PayPal or, you know, I don't know, it's the railroad.
I'm fine with us, maybe going ahead and putting that on. You know, if they have some way that's easily shareable,
Yeah.
we can put it there. Because Mark isn't the only one here in Europe. Jen Schwarzenberg, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Jeff
I'm
or
sure.
Jen,
Yeah.
Jeff, it's not a return. So, and I'm looking down the list up there, of people that are involved in that, there are several that are. It's a good organization.
Yeah. You know, I kind of wanted it because publicized to the club, so the club is still in a way.
I make a motion that Stan can move forward with blasting this on social media.
You're gonna blast.
Does anyone have any? No, necessarily need a motion. I'll second it and I'll.
Bye.
All right, Russell, Stan. I will make a note of it today in our announcement as well. And I will just send them to you if you're fine with that. About how to, tag it,
More.
Oink and Rooster. I'm just going to give a few updates. So I spoke with Jennifer a week or two ago, and she is more than happy for us to use her parking lot for however we need. We'll likely, in that lot on the north side, make a loop through for our takeout portion. And maybe the back where we usually do to cook and stage for the delivery part. So, Mark Russell, who's made all of our designs, is currently making one with the Rooster and the Illinois Committee. So he has got a few jobs that he has to do, and he's going to get usually pretty quick. So I would say within a couple of weeks, I would expect that. And hard to believe that it's less than 2 months away. So we're I reached out to Top Palmer, and who owns who's a Rotary and also owns Pigman. And he would be able to source some of the meat. So we'll check with him. We'll check with Jeanette again.
Check with Karen.
Okay.
They may be able to do that. And then Mike Kelly.
Yeah.
Kitchen and everything.
Jeff over there.
Yeah. He looks.
Well, the meeting hasn't started. I just did a WhatsApp.
Oh, you did, okay.
In regards to logistics of creating basically a drive-through today, I know a bunch of folks from Dare County Water. How about cones for to get,
Yes, that's what I'm thinking is we either set cones or, well, I was gonna say maybe set up cars that we can drive on and set cones, and do it that way. Exactly. And then what we'll do is probably have it from a certain amount, let's say 11 to noon, take out, and most of these are gonna be, or what I would want us to do is to have it as a pre-order. So we already know what they're going to be getting, and we'll get it together, and when they show up, there's Lori's plate, and here you go. So, but anyway, as soon as we get the flyer back from the partner from Mark, Lori, you and Rob, I'm gonna have you all start just checking out sponsorships. We'll start blasting it out, and just a prequel of, hey, this year it's gonna be a different event. It's still happening. I mean, basically right now, that's all we need to tell people. We're still having an event. We're gonna make it fun. We're gonna donate a portion of the proceeds to the Beach Food Pantry. We'll get them some information. They already have their organization. They can start piping it out. So I spoke with Bob Ebert, from the high school band, and he definitely wants to stay involved with us this year and continuing. My thoughts are that we're probably not gonna use their help this year, as far as hands-on, is to give them a portion of the gross, maybe 25% or so of their gross sale, and have them, you know, they can spread the word. We can tag a code for people to put into the band, and that way, everybody who buys their order and puts the code in, is, you know,
We need to have the band members compete against each other, and whoever sells the most tickets wins the big prize. Like I could put together a $250 gift certificate packets for all the businesses and restaurants and what have you, hang gliding, you know, all kinds of things like that. If we could develop a competition within a band member. Or the school, I mean, if they're the school too.
Yeah. I mean, even if they're selling pre-orders in regards to, here's a box of food, this is what you get in it.
Yeah.
Pre-order ticket, call, put your name in, give the ticket number. I mean, yeah, we can work that out. I mean, it's the way that they can walk around with pre-order ticket, pre-order. And if they're squared away submitted to us, that way we can go ahead and have money. That's a good idea.
Well, I'll get a donation for that, for whoever sells the most. I mean, of course, the second place is small.
Yeah.
Help encourage our sales.
Jay, the other thing I'd like to do, if I could, I'm gonna draft an email sent to plastic. I at least want to get the folks who want to be on board, the behind the scene logistics or in person. I want to see who's available to us, who's willing, who's unwilling, and I'm perfectly understand, I understand, not willing because of COVID and all this stuff, but I just need to get them to that, because they'll help in person and behind the scenes. So, right, if you don't mind me directing.
Yeah, you would, that would be great. I'll be honest, these came from me looking at what, High Cotton and, what, Big Man's was kind of doing. I took whoever was the most expensive and kind of made that as our price, but, these are just some sample kind of what's out there and what I think we should look at doing that people can have. And these are all things that we've done in the past. So we've done the pig, we've set the chicken. But we would be able to put that together. I thought about reaching out to one of the local grocery stores to get some of their paper bags. And then, you know, do it as a pint or a quart. I've got pounds on here, but looking at what they do is pint or quart, and it's probably just because it's easier to do it in pint glass and then you got to do it.
Which is rare.
So, I think delivery is gonna be an option that people are gonna want. And, you know, we're gonna kind of southern shore to Nag Head, the northern part of Nag Head.
Yeah, or you're on.
But we're gonna have to have a minimum order for that. I'd say at least $25, maybe $35, $50. $50.
Yeah.
Well, here's 75.
Right here, 75.
Just think about the day.
That's the
Gotta be too.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah.
All right, $50 minimum order.
He just couldn't do that.
You were the last, we were talking about tossing around the pickup station in Township Harbor at the clubhouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll start with that. Yeah, Mike's back there, you're back there, I'm back there.
Absolutely. It's a great idea.
She could live life.
That's right. Karen's back there.
There's a lot of people in Harvard.
Yeah. Well, and, like I said before, Ogden doesn't have as many delivery options, so I think people there would be more amenable than average.
And look, even if we set that up after our event's over,
Yeah.
you know, so we're not depleting resources at the event site, we're delivering. I mean, I'll go from Mike, you, Karen, maybe just pop up and throw it here. People do that.
And I think a lot of the logistics of that are just gonna play out on how many we get. If we get 50 orders from Collins, and we're gonna be.
And take those pre-orders and know what numbers we're dealing with. Or let's
there an HOA on the east side?
There is, I just thought, I'm gonna be part of that whole committee there, so I probably just take care of that.
All right. Anyone have any other, things for the,
No, good job.
Good job. All right.
I don't care what he says about you. I think you're all right.
Well, any motion to adjourn? Here you go. Second.
It's already done. Jay always wants to feel real good, right, Jay?
Yeah.
Hey, George.
I'm good.
I like your format.
I kind of.
Yeah, good idea.
Was it October 10th, Jay? What was our?
October 10th. Yeah.
That's too much.
I know.
Hey, Dick.
Hey, Dick.
Is he muted?
Gonna be no marathon this year.
Over it and over it.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking.
That's the new time, I don't know.
So for this, and what we'll do is, during the meeting, it's easy to just name it. $50 and stuff. Kind of get behind it and just aim for where.
They're all acting, they're all anyway, nobody's got.
Now it's over. Put it on the. Can you hear us good? Welcome to Rotary.
Thank you, I made it.
They
Well, I put up a thought that I. So I was trying to.
Where was home before, Washington?
Hey, stranger.
Asheville. Actually, Weaverville. Just went to Asheville, about 5 minutes away. So there's about 16 or 20 years.
From mountains to the south.
My wife's left it a lot.
Okay, there you go.
No, I'm not sure what they got. I'm too late.
We're the same way.
You want to put this up on the podium?
Oh, absolutely. Go right ahead.
Sit with some distance. Once one of those $1 million bills.
I'll take a couple of, like I say, my kids will,
I'll have to go check. They might be in my car. They might be at home. Either way, I'll get some.
Yeah, this is the first time.
you can wing it. Whatever you
Well, I'm comfortable. I can
You're going to.
16 and 17. Senior year, whatever. Senior year. What time was it?
That's my car. We'll
All right, well, all right, guys, y'all want any?
Oh, I did.
You do? Gotcha. You just holler when you're ready, okay? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have in your? Got yours?
Oh, I need some.
I think our pot's up to like 600 or it's should be somewhere right around there.
$10.
Huh? All righty. Oh, there you go.
Whoa!
Well,
Clean up aisle 4.
I was just gonna say, I'm 101. If you got that, then yeah. There we go. Get your first. Are you getting to Miss George? She was helping.
There he is.
There we go.
Opportunities with Rotary.
Oh, I know.
What's that?
President.
Rotary opens opportunity.
Rotary opens opportunity.
Hence the open door.
Oh, look, Jack's gonna show you, got that pedicure. Anybody have something for hard?
For what? They probably will next door.
I know, I always need.
Actually,
Hold on.
I got 20.
It'll be 20.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what.
Yeah, I got 20.
I have 101. Oh,
You got it? There, I got it.
all right.
There, you can give your son another $100 bill.
That's right. At the rate he says, he's gonna do that. We're at the point, right? So we have friends over, things like that. Do not tell them that you have money. Don't tell them. at
Don't tell your
school that
friend,
have
yeah.
money. Don't tell anybody, ever, here in our life, anything about how much money you
Okay. For the governor? Yeah, you want me to put it under the,
Yeah, if you would, that'd be great.
oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Is that Don over there?
Oh, okay.
No, no.
It looked like Donna.
It's from the back.
I know.
Yeah.
I turned around and
Got
looked.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep. You got it, Paul.
Me? Dick's got two. You got one for Rob, and then I'm gonna do it at a different meeting, but we have one for myself.
Shall have one in the back.
What I was thinking about doing, is putting his, or maybe getting something and putting it on. And then like,
Because I got the name badge.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we should, the thought would be to get a small banner, they make, and do that for.
Might consider using
Too slow.
And then that way.
Hey, we got cheesecake alcohol.
And I'm gonna. That's really.
Yeah.
Just go to, otherwise, that's what I think.
Yeah. Cool.
I haven't gotten in the midst of trying to make sure I can reach the road.
Yeah.
That's really more important. For me to turn. That's my thought.
Disappeared.
I gotta win again. I mean, we're getting down to the wire.
Yeah, somebody should read that. No, it's Dan's got to say it now.
So another thing.
Yeah. For a couple bucks in the,
I put mine.
One of them here. You got it?
John got them.
Should I order 10 more, Jerry?
Hey,
Thank you.
We are
I tell you what, people ask when you're out. The other day, it was like, oh, there's 3 times yesterday. Yeah. I was at the Shooting Center, I was at, Rotary.
3 years.
Mom was missing in action. I had to, my wife's stuck in my sock drawer. And I said, honey, now I'm from. Oh, now.
I love to play golf. I just haven't played.
I don't hit the ball all that well, but.
I've been encouraged by that.
Oh, you know what?
Paul Harris, what,
6 and 7.
Which will probably be more this year.
oh yeah,
I got one.
Oldest friend from Osborne, they're on belly for 5.5 weeks.
I did. I did a lot.
Nick is that person is right there, 92 years old. My idol.
I easily spend $100 a year on Photo Plus so you can just, at least the last few years. I will, you can add me to your, I'll look at the form, but.
You can pass that around because you're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I will pass. I've got one on.
Yeah, I got that.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
He's honest, both for a day, you're right.
Right. I'll,
that ain't that the truth.
The fourth one.
Fill it out, the flag. I would leave the donation.
That's the only thing I heard. We were on the Dallas and we didn't even know that.
Let's eat.
Where's Stan go? Stan, you want to eat, man?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Tammy's on.
It's time. It's going to be interesting. Don't get the tie in front of him. It'll scare the hell out of him. Hey, Dick.
You know what, that's probably what I would.
I want to grab some food.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do before I do that, turn off my phone.
Yeah. That's always a good idea.
Right in the middle somewhere, I remembered that I had my ringer on. And then I forgot that I was gonna go turn it off. But then I did. Yeah, you need that. Hey, George, how are you?
I'm good.
Mike,
I let people in.
Mark Rose.
I feel like I'm a Sonic car hop right now, because I have, really in stores, and then I can come to them. And I think a lot of people are really realizing that they don't really miss the money that is fielding. That are just keepers and
Yeah.
they've been programmed now, and it's a little bit scary about how things are gonna actually evolve.
Just north of 77.
It's going.
Everything going well in the realty world?
Yeah.
Radio world?
Radio world.
Yeah.
What is the that's your what?
Yeah, I just, I want to keep it.
Thank you. Happy, but it's good.
I'll be honest, because I like hearing you on the radio. So, part of me says, I really want you to be successful in the realty world, and I do. And part of me said, I know.
Yeah, I don't want to do both. I want to do one or the other.
How was the end of the tournament? We actually.
Oh, I had to get the whole week. I think it's been
see how much I can spill on my shirt before I start speaking.
Don't say that, because that's what's gonna happen.
It wouldn't be the first time.
That was Carol last week.
A very smart guy once told me,
Yeah. Was it Sunday, Monday?
don't say that
Well,
this
yeah,
year
they
you don't
did.
want to have that.
Yes, yeah, one the other day. Because of
We've been doing a lot of work.
Actually, he said, every time you sit down and do something, ask yourself, is that the way I want to live?
That's good.
Can't let it go to waste.
And they wanted
You didn't know what it was. All right, how many people can we sit?
Yeah.
I would say.
This is my third week.
Yeah, showing how.
Moved. Different. One was in New Hampshire, Connecticut. The last one was in Oakland, Maryland.
That was bigger.
As we moved here.
I was just wondering.
Last year, yeah, beginning.
Glad you know. Right. Yeah.
And that was,
And very, I find a lot of people bring some good ideas from the former club.
Oh, yeah.
Or stuff they don't like.
That's how we got John. That was a great list.
That was something we put together to kind of figure out, okay, we want to do stuff, what do we want to do?
That was what, 3 pages? Single space. Yeah, I'll pass that on.
Yeah, I knew she was like irritated.
Doesn't mess around. I mean, joined earlier in the year. Now he's president of that.
What for punishment?
Yeah, I just started saying it the other day.
I had no fun as club president. I had a fall.
I did too.
I really quit.
I was president of Maryland. Oh, you're right, yeah. It was a lot of fun.
My second time in 4 years.
I ran into somebody rash with it for president. Don't know what they got.
Well, it's, how many times did Tamron do it? Because she was in Juice for a while and they were like 8 people. So, yeah, she probably did
Several. She was everything for the last 20 years.
Well.
42, you know, she was, you know, that ex-fire chief that lived in Southern Shores. He was a big part of their club.
So that was up and down.
He passed away. I'm sure the line went down.
Yeah, I remember this. They were having to raise about well, to catch it up. It was really hard. Yeah.
But she's
And,
not,
I guess the storm kind of turned it
get her out for
around.
that.
You know, our business used to be on Friday.
Yeah. I know she knows what's going on. And she's a great organizer. But she'll be a great asset. I just wanted to keep it connected with Rotary.
I don't know if they did. I don't know.
She's 18 when, well, I was president, he was
I've been there, I had my house for 2 years and I lived there 2 years before that.
and our club's 25th anniversary, so I kind of hit the first time a good run.
You did?
I don't think your second time is going to be a good one. I think that's my opinion is this, with Zoom and all the things. I think a lot of good things are happening.
Don't worry, he's got a Zoom thing, while people don't like it. It's forcing Rotary to change for the better.
At least think about things.
Oh, yeah. And they're seeing the potential. That's going to change things for sure on health. Yeah. I miss the personal interaction we're having now. Camaraderie to develop. I mean, I really think that this thing will be done. I also feel like they have 5 or 8.
Oh, yeah.
We committed to it. you don't have to raise his prices. He's just gonna break even to the.
One of the other practitioners in town, I was talking to her.
Really, I think it's like the federal rate.
It is blowing my mind how easy it is to get CE now. Like, I probably got more CE this year. I'm not even well beyond what I need, so I've already got that. But, I said, this is great, and a lot of it is free.
You want to hit Jane right there in the end?
Yep.
I didn't realize I was working tonight.
We'll do it right after, we'll do it right after, would you mind doing the communication again?
No problem.
One second. Well.
Let me get all our Zoomers.
There we go. Zoomers.
Get our Zoomers.
Right.
I wonder what they're having for lunch.
Yeah.
Late Monday. We talked yesterday afternoon.
I don't know about her. I was lucky to have to leave the house and what happened with that. Like, Taylor never heard of it.
Somebody else is getting their addiction coming back.
Yeah, there's help like more. No, they said that they were still listening. We, I did. Anyway, they were just talking about that.
Oh, damn.
What about the seniors that are trying to get a scholarship? For high school. Well, I got it on.
Hey, Mel. That'd be a good breakfast.
Gotta start out with breakfast.
All right. Get this party on. Okay. I'll walk up there slow.
You want me to follow you?
I do like that.
One more good bang. Wake everybody up. There we go. All right. First Light Rotary Club.
So I should.
My side of the business.
How are y'all today?
Great. Jay, how are you?
Can't complain. Boots.
Yes, sir.
Love hearing your voice.
Yes.
You please stand in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm gonna have to do the old Glenn Ewan and go, no. I got that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Stan, would you say our invocation?
Please. Let's just give thanks for our ability to still meet, to still make a difference, and come back together in a new way that we can still make great changes and affect our communities here at home and around the world. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Stan. So welcome again. We are just a reminder, although these they are very good about it, but if you haven't had your chance to get 50-50 raffle tickets, I already have the winning ticket, but adding to the pot never hurts. So, but George or Lori back there have tickets, so just have them. And we are going to start today as, of course, the most awesome meeting of the year. We get the district governor, and Spencer Stanley will welcome you. And we're going to start off giving out a few Paul Harris Awards. So right after John, you got to twist that handle a little bit. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we're going to start out giving a few Paul Harris. We haven't Paul Harris in a while, so one of these will be virtual.
That would be nice.
You've already got it. So everyone, this is your district governor, Spencer Stanley.
Hello, hello.
And he's from the Washington Noon.
Correct.
All right. Good. Got it right.
Okay.
Washington Noon Club. Stay tuned for a more in-depth introduction by Dan Keeler in a moment. But he's going to induct a couple of Paul Harris Awards.
Yeah, first I've got a Paul Harris Fellow for John Polk. Fellowship. And a Paul Harris +6 and 7 for Dick Calhoun. And a Paul Harris +3 for Jay. The presentation of a Paul Harris Fellow recognition is the Rotary Foundation's way of expressing its appreciation for a substantial contribution to its humanitarian and educational programs. It's named for our founder, Paul Harris, a Chicago attorney who started Rotary International with 3 business associates in 1905. We move closer today to the world of peace and goodwill as we welcome John Polk, Dick Calhoun, and Jay Taylor to the Paul Harris Fellows, additional Fellows, and Paul Harris Society members. It's because of gifts like these, the Rotary Foundation is able to carry out an array of programs that achieve beneficial changes in our world, improved living conditions, increased food production, better education, wider availability of treatment and rehabilitation for the sick and disabled, new channels for the flow of international understanding, and a brighter hope for peace. Now here's a small listing of those you may know that you're going to be joining as Paul Harris Fellows. Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Kofi Annan, Prince Charles, Indira Gandhi, Luciano Pavarotti, Pope John Paul II, and Stan Keeler. So you're joining a unique group of people. In becoming a Paul Harris Fellow, you join a remarkable company of people throughout the world, all recognized for their devotion to the ideal of goodwill, peace, and understanding. And thank you all for what you do for all of us. Jay, this is yours.
All right.
Make sure I get the right one up here on the top, right? There we go. Paul Harris +3.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And this is for Dick.
Those are, and Dick, if you want, I can bring yours at some point and drop it off at your house.
And John Polk. Great. Let's hope I got the right one for you, John.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And this should be yours too. If I got it right.
No,
Nothing there.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Those are both Dicks.
They're both Dicks. Okay. You got your own, put it on.
No, I don't get you.
Okay. Thank you. All yours.
Well, unless you want to do the hero. Since you're up here,
It would be a great thing to do a
that?
hero. One thing I wanted to do as district governor, our clubs across the district are filled with people that donate their time and energy to good causes. And I wanted to recognize one Rotary hero for each club that I visited. And I asked the club president, who is your Rotary hero? And they said, what are you looking for? Well, we need to recognize those who always raise their hand, who donate to what's important in Rotary, who volunteer even when they're busy, who lead by personal example and encourage others to join in and be a part of something bigger than each of us. And you know who they are in your club. They're the ones that come in all shapes and sizes, and they have a magical quality about them that others admire and respect. They're the informal leaders of your club that deserve recognition precisely because they don't seek it. So I wanted to single out one of those heroes, and in talking to Jay, I can't think of a better person than he selected than your own Stan Keeler. Now this Rotary Hero pin was made exclusively for District 7720. You're one of the few now that have those. I didn't get that one because we checked and some women weren't too happy with that image. So we changed the pin. Okay, it's a 3D pin.
Cool.
And there is one other district that liked the idea so much they stole it from me, but I said that was okay. That's the district over in Raleigh.
Okay.
So he's giving one out to one hero in each of his clubs. I'm doing the same here. So thank you for what you do for Rotary and for your club and for the world. You are a Rotary hero.
Keeps me out of the house.
Yeah, it does. Patsy's happy. Well, I was actually going to get a cape to go along with it, but that would have been a lot more fun. Anyway, let's see. And Stan, I think they want you to do a brief introduction, so they know who's up here.
Who you are.
Yeah, I probably don't.
I'll tell you where you came from.
That's scary.
Okay.
All right, and then I'll come back up.
No, you can just sit right here.
All
It's,
right.
it's not going to take a long time.
No, it won't. I'm here.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, we're examples of what can happen when you don't step back when people ask, right?
That's exactly right. I didn't step back fast enough, and I was the last one up.
Oops.
Don't lose that here. I'll take one of those.
Yeah, get them out of here, man. It is my great pleasure to introduce my good friend and fellow Rotarian, Spencer Stanley, to all of you. You've heard him already. You know he's capable. He walks, he talks. He wears Rotary pins, so he's qualified. Spencer was raised in a military family, and as a result, enjoyed the exposure of several foreign countries and cultures in his upbringing. Spencer received the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from the Citadel, whatever that is. It's a Southern thing, right?
Military School of South Carolina.
Haven't been there.
You need to go.
He entered the U.S. Air Force. That's for those that couldn't float. So I was in the Navy. He had to fly. As a finance officer. During his time, he obtained his bachelor's degree in business management from the University of Northern Colorado.
A different UNC.
Yeah, definitely a different UNC. His last assignment in the Air Force was Chief Finance Division for the Alaskan Air Command. Is it Elmendorf?
Elmendorf.
Air Force Base in Alaska. Great place to be.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. After leaving the Air Force, he spent the next 30 years in both financial management and sales. He's a past member of the Asheville Breakfast Rotary Club and has been a member of the Washington Noon Rotary Club for 10 years. He's past president of the Washington Noon Rotary Club, a recipient of the club's Rotarian of the Year Award. He has served as assistant governor here in our district, is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow, a Paul Harris Society member, and a benefactor and bequest society member. Spencer is a member of the First United Methodist Church and is married to the former Lee Taylor of Washington, North Carolina. You're a lucky man.
I am. I'm married well above myself. She's just reminding me of that.
Yeah. They have 2 children, Ellen and S. Greg Stanley IV.
That's it.
And 2 grandchildren. If you would please stand and welcome District Governor Spencer Stanley.
Thank you all very much. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's much more fun than a virtual meeting. I've been having a lot of those, as you all have too. But it's a lot more fun to visit in person. So thank you for the opportunity, Jay, to be here. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. My friends and fellow Rotarians, a Greek philosopher once wrote that great enterprises begin with small opportunities. I'm going to repeat that. He said, great enterprises begin with small opportunities. Now, it sounds good, but I don't think it's true. Great enterprises do not begin with small opportunities. They begin with great ones. It's just that great opportunities sometimes have a way of looking small. Every one of us here has been given a great opportunity. The opportunity that came in the form of a Rotarian saying, I'd like to invite you to a meeting of my Rotary Club. Now, it might have seemed like a small opportunity at the time, but for whatever reasons, for each of us, it also seemed like a good idea. An interesting chance to meet some new people, to do some good work, and to have fun in the process. Now, looking back on that now, I think every one of us recognizes the opportunity to serve Rotary for what it truly is. It is not a small opportunity, but a great one. The great opportunity that led all of us to the great enterprise that is Rotary. Now, what I want all of us to take from that today, tomorrow, and the year ahead is that the only difference between a small opportunity and a great one is what you do with it. Each one of us has been given an opportunity to serve in Rotary. What we do with that opportunity, see, it's up to each one of us, but the decisions we make, they will not end with us. The effects of our work, our decisions, are going to ripple out all over the world to people we will never meet and whose lives Rotary will change forever. Like the women right now, at this very moment, walking down dirt paths with water jugs on their head on their way to get water from a polluted stream that's an hour away from their homes. And they probably do that 2 or 3 times a day. Well, next year, they will not have to, because the contributions you make to the Rotary Foundation and the wells that they will drill for these villages. The girls in India who have to leave school at the age of 12 or 13 because there are no bathrooms for them. Well, next year they won't have to, because the toilet blocks that Rotary will build based on the contributions that you make to the Rotary Foundation. And obviously I can talk about Pakistan and Afghanistan and the children there worrying about getting polio. And soon their countries and the whole world will hopefully be polio free. Now, all of that is what can happen. It's not what will happen, but it can happen. When we recognize the opportunity to join Rotary was truly the opportunity of a lifetime. A great opportunity to change the world for the better, through Rotary opening opportunities. That was a very visionary slogan that Holger Knott came up with. He had no idea we were coming into this environment. But I'd like to take a minute and share a story with you of what really got me fired up and seeing the opportunities that Rotary provides each and every one of us. I was a member, as you heard, of the Asheville Breakfast Rotary Club out there, and I joined, like most of you, for networking purposes. We had about 125 members, good way to meet some new people in town. I was in sales. I met all the movers and shakers. It was a great thing. I'd show up for the meetings every week. I didn't get that involved at that time. I moved to Little Washington. I didn't know anybody. What a better place to go than Rotary, so I joined that club. There was a gentleman in the back of the room, been a long-time member there, probably 79 years old at the time. His name was Neil Atkinson. How many of you have received a call asking for a donation for a cause? Pretty much everybody. Well, he did too. One night in chocolate winter, he got a call at his home and asking for a donation, and he was not familiar with the cause. They were asking for money for prosthetic limbs for children in Sri Lanka. He politely declined because he wasn't familiar with it, but it got him thinking. And he got online and started doing some homework and found out, yes, Sri Lanka had a civil war going on for years. And there are landmines all over that country. And there's still children to this day getting their legs blown off from walking over a landmine. Well, for whatever reason, it struck him. Each and every one of you has a passion and a talent and a skill to plug into Rotary. Whether you do it here or around the world, it's available to you. Neil got fired up about this. He came into our club, and this was a couple years before I moved there. He said, we got to get a global grant for this. We got to solve this problem. Now, here's one old fella in little club in Little Washington, North Carolina. Our club did not have the $35,000 to get going on a global grant, but we gave him some. He went to the district. They didn't have a whole lot at the time. They gave him some, but it didn't stop him. He went to visit other clubs in the district. He had been a Rotarian for a long time. He had met other Rotarians in other districts. He called them up. He emailed. He went and talked to them, showed them what was going on in Sri Lanka. To make a long story short, he got his global grant with the club in Kandy, Sri Lanka, K-A-N-D-Y. You have to have somebody in the host country watching on the funds. Well, fast forward a few years. I'm now club president. He comes up to me and says, Spencer, I'm going to go to Sri Lanka in another month or so. I want to see what's going on and see how it's going. I said, well, Neil, you've obviously done a bunch. We got somebody in our kitty. Why don't we pay for your ticket? So we did. But he came back with a extremely moving PowerPoint presentation. Yes, he went through all the things and showing where he went, but the real key was looking at the kids. He's got some double amputees that are on the ground. The next minute, they've got a couple prosthetic limbs, and these aren't the prosthetic limbs that you and I think of. They're not titanium. They're not real expensive. They cost about $60. They're crude, but they work. And if you can imagine children in a third world country without a limb, most of them don't even go to school. They're harassed. A lot of them are shunned by their own families. But you see these people come in, get a prosthetic limb, and they're going out and they're playing soccer the very afternoon after they get their prosthetic limb. They're a grin from ear to ear. Neil Atkinson, over the course of this grant, was able to raise about $600,000 in Little Washington. He made a difference in hundreds of lives. That's what struck me. That's the power of Rotary. Anything you want to do, you can do it. There are people out there willing to help you do it. If you get the word out, if you have a passion. A club president a couple years before I became club president was Jerry Evans in Washington. And the first thing he said to his club is said, find your passion. And he's exactly right. We all have a passion about certain causes. And that's one of the nice things about Rotary is I get to leverage what little funds I have with other Rotarians and make a bigger difference than I could by myself. That's what we all do. That's why we're here. So thank you for what you do. I do want to leave you with a Chinese proverb. If I can find it, I should have it memorized by now, but I do not. But it sort of puts things in perspective. Maybe I can remember it. Here we go. Chinese proverb says, if you want to be happy for an hour, take a nap. If you want to be happy for a day, go fishing. If you want to be happy for a week, take a vacation. The next one my wife hates. If you want to be happy for a month, get married. If you want to be happy for a year, inherit a fortune. But if you want to be happy for a lifetime, help somebody less fortunate than you. That's what Rotary is all about. It's what we do. It's what you all do here. I appreciate what you do. I thank you for what you do. And if there is anything I can do to help Jay and your club, I'll be more than happy to do it. We are here to serve you. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'd be happy to answer any questions or concerns you may have. Don't be shy. Oh, clapping? Thank you. I appreciate it. Any questions at all? Okay. Well, you can unmute them if they have questions, but I can tell you at all the clubs right now, we've got, I've had personal visits with probably 6 to 8.
It's a little thing that pops up and says somebody's joined.
There are probably the same number of clubs that aren't meeting at all, and the rest are doing them virtually. I've had 2 club visits where I met with them personally, but they were outside. I appreciated their flexibility, although like 110 degrees. Rotary is adapting. This is not a bad thing. When I first, I had lots of high hopes about visiting clubs and had all kinds of plans for my year as district governor. I had no idea we were going to enter it into a pandemic. And I'm sure your club presidents felt the same way. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized I'm put here at a great time. This is a good time to make a big difference. And membership's going to be one of my biggies, which is why I work pretty closely with Stan. You're very lucky to have him in your club. Melanie is your AG. Great to have her. You got some great people in this club doing fun things. Membership, I hope to go out in the second half of the year if things open up and have what's called Discover Rotary Days. Grab all the clubs up here in the area, have you all invite all kinds of prospective people that want to take a look at Rotary, and I'll go through a PowerPoint presentation on no obligation, no pressure. This is what Rotary is. This is what we do. You will be surprised at how many people, number one, don't have a full appreciation of what you do. Number two, they really don't know everything that you do. And number three, they're floored at how much you can do as a group. So it's not a hard sell. It's really just telling what Rotary is. So I hope to do that and get our membership going. Membership has been, up and down over the last 10 years in our district. It's not that way in other districts. And in looking at what other districts do, they've got an infrastructure in place for it. They have what's called membership advocates in each area, which help the AGs and help the clubs and keep it going in the front burner. It's not an overnight thing. It's a multi-year process. We hope to continue over the next several years. We're going to have a race between each area, which club's doing the best in each area, which area is doing the best in growth. We'll make it happen. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Any other questions at all? You guys are a quiet bunch. I know I didn't cover everything.
What's your goal for Rotary, for the district membership?
Up 20% minimum. On your table, you'll see a little bracelet. It says reach one, keep one. I wear mine every day as a reminder. Bring in one new, I'm asking each member in the district to bring in one new member between now and the end of the year. Now, if everybody did that, we'd double in size. Wouldn't that be a fun thing to do? Do I think it's going to happen? I'm a positive thinker. but I'm also realistic. No, I don't think everybody's going to do it. My own club has no more room to grow. We're having to start a new club to find room to put new people. But we're growing. We're going to grow. So I'm hopeful we'll grow by 20%, which quite honestly means we'll have a net up maybe 7%, because the average percentage loss of a club is 14.1%. That's across Rotary worldwide. So we're no different. Some clubs doing a little better, some worse, but we average about 14%. So you have to plan for growth. No other way to do it. The other thing I've got on your table is a little flower polio, remind you of polio. Our district has to average a per capita giving of $49 per Rotarian to meet our Polio Plus goal. To have some fun with that, you're all familiar with the polio or with the Paul Harris Society. So I started the Polio Plus Association for our district, where I'm asking people to pledge $100 a year until polio is eradicated. When's it going to be eradicated? Don't know. Could be 3 years, could be 5, but it's still less expensive than Paul Harris. If you pledge $100 a year, you get a nice little medallion with our little district logo on one side. On the other side is Rocky Jacobs. If you don't know Rocky, he's done more for polio in our district than anybody else I know. And I had to get his permission to do that, but he said he's been minted.
Yeah, explain to the crowd who Rocky is. A lot of them are.
Rocky was a former district governor up in Virginia, moved down to Belhaven. He's now living in Washington. He's a Polio Plus coordinator. It was for zone 33 and 34. He's done such a great job. They've got him in multiple zones. I worry about 38 clubs. He's over like 1,200 clubs for Polio Plus. And the guy's 86 years old. And he's sharp as a tack. But he lives and breathes polio eradication. He wants to, I'm convinced he's living as long as he is because he wants to see it eradicated. He wants to see the end result. He's been working on it for years.
Ever since we started.
Oh, yeah.
In 1985.
Yeah, he's been working on it for years, and he can stout statistics left and right.
So how do you pledge for that?
There is a form on the district website.
Okay.
It's called Polio Plus Association. You can fill it out, say, yes, I pledge, send it in to Jay, or you can send it to me, you can send it to our district Polio Plus chair. We'll take care of it. We'll send you a medallion.
I'll send a link.
Okay. Or give it to Stan, or take a picture of it with your cell phone and send it to me. I'll send you, it doesn't matter. We're all, I trust everybody. I don't think people are going to pledge and not give. So anything else?
Yeah, we just ordered a Paul Harris Society pin banner. Could you explain what that is?
Sure.
To put you on the spot.
No, that's quite all right. I wear one. I better know what it is, right? As you know, you've got to give $1,000 to be a Paul Harris Fellow. People that pledge $1,000 a year are members of the Paul Harris Society. It's really relatively easy to do. To go to my Rotary, it comes out to like $84 a month. Just do it. I don't even miss it. It's very rewarding. I know where the money goes. I know it's going to be well spent. It's all there.
It's just a commitment.
It's a commitment, and I can't ask, as district governor, asking somebody to be a member if I'm not a member myself. It's not right. No. One thing, we do have a new foundation chair this year. Instead of Lee Adams, it's now Tracy Ivy, our former district governor. A little different approach. Instead of being a little heavy-handed and trying to ask you for your donations to the foundation, Tracy's going to go over why you should give to the foundation. I think you heard some of that in what I talked about. My own club has a foundation minute every week where we have somebody stand up and talk about something the foundation did somewhere in the world, just to give people a better understanding of what we give to. We're a 100% Paul Harris Club, all 83 of us. We believe in it. We cannot ask new members to join and tell them you need to give to the foundation. We say you don't want to be the first one that doesn't. And who would join and not do that? So, you know, it's we talk about the need. I mean, the needs are great, not just locally but globally, and that we need more members now more than ever. There's, as you well see, all around your neighborhood here, their businesses hurt. And I'm fortunate that I get out and talk to a lot of the clubs and see what they're doing. And it's amazing to me. Little Bellhaven, North Carolina, who's got 3 or 4 restaurants, a couple of them are pretty good, but it killed them. And the Rotary Club didn't want it to happen. So they raised some money and they go out and give money to the line workers in these restaurants, the waiters and the wait staff and the kitchen staff, not the owners. They get fed pretty well when they go now, but they do that every month. That's something they wanted to do locally. My own club, we have a nice restaurant in town called the Hackney. He also has a gin distillery. Well, we paid him a bunch of money or gave him some money and we made hand sanitizer. Gave it out to all the hospitals and the ambulance crews and everything else. You can do stuff during this pandemic that makes a difference. And people heard about it. They joined our club. They didn't even know what Rotary was. They liked to see what we did. They want to join. We're still growing members. We hardly have any place to put them, but we're meeting virtually right now, so we'll figure it out.
I have a question from the audience.
Yes.
Why not focus more on retention if we have a 14%?
Great question. I love that question because you cannot retain your way to growth. That's basically it. You can retain every one of you in here, and I hope we do, and all your members, but you can't retain your way to growth. People are going to die, people are going to move, and some people actually lose interest. And on average, and it's not just Rotary, it's any volunteer organization, you're going to lose about 14% a year. So you have to grow.
Right, and specifically, the number for our club, our attrition is around 9%.
So
we're much better.
You're much better than average. But that means you need to grow, but not as hard as some other ones.
Oh, we still need to grow.
Yeah. But that's it in a nutshell. I don't want to, am I going over time here, Jay? Or?
Good job. Good job. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Thank you again. Feel free, like I said, I work for you guys, so you let me know if you need anything.
Yeah,
I'm happy to help.
watch for that paycheck.
I'm waiting for mine too.
Thank you, District Governor. It
Thank
is
you.
Where's my little sheet?
Ah, there it is. Item number 8. All right. We did have a board meeting today just to get everybody the real brief, but we did approve to fund the district governor's project for this year. And we also talked a little bit about Oink and the Rooster. So we're still going forward with that. Mark Russell's making us a design. So as soon as we get that, we're going to start promoting that it exists, that we're having it still on October 10th. More details to come as it's changed. Why don't we do some happy dollars? What time do we have, Stan, before I say?
You've got 153.
1:53. We've got time for some quick happy dollars.
Happy dollars for our governor being here and for enjoying our home last night. Yes, wonderful hospitality. Patsy cooked a really good meal, so I got one good meal out of the month. No, you got it. Yeah. No, you did. I was videotape. She did a wonderful crab cake. Crab cakes and big cake. Corn pudding.
You wanna aim that around for me? Just follow her.
I'm gonna have you on, I got a house contract this past weekend, so I'm.
Hey.
gonna that.
All right.
Over there.
I'm happy because today I'm celebrating 42 years of marital grace.
And he's never had a fight that he wants to talk about.
That's the going animal.
I survived bank conversion number 7, and did it during a pandemic, a full moon, a hurricane, and then an earthquake. So I pretty much think that I earned this S on my chest. Yeah, and I just, on top of it, 7 seems to be my theme. Yesterday, I woke up 7 years ago in the state of Georgia for the last time, and have spent the last 7 years here on the Outer Banks, which
Yay.
it's a good thing. I don't plan on leaving. You guys are gonna have to give me the boot. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm sorry, but anybody that goes through earthquakes and 7 roads here as well. That's unbelievable. You gotta have that. Sorry, Stan, it dilutes yours, but you know, that's hard to beat. Earthquakes, hurricanes, bank transitions.
Number one, always good to have the district governor here, and I think it's going to be a fun year.
We're gonna make
Number
it fun.
2 is, for those of you who fish, you know that this Sunday was a very pivotal day in the world of fishing, because for 1 month, you get to keep all those flounder you've been catching the last 11 months. And so I went out and went gigging in Sound, and my first flounder of the year was 21 inches.
Oh my gosh,
Good.
that's
That's
awesome.
a big pool, man.
That's a good start.
Send some of those up to the Avalon Pier.
I got one.
Very happy to be here, and the hospitality was phenomenal. Thank you all.
Oh, thank you.
Glad to have ya.
I've got just a couple announcements.
No.
Just again, those of you who are looking at helping further with the club and more on the commitment side, we do need a VP. So I will make that announcement until somebody wants to step forward. But just email me if you have any questions about what it all entails. I'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, but honestly, it's mostly good, been good. We've got a very active club, and Governor Spencer asked me to pick somebody, and I tell you, it's hard because you got so many people that stand forward. But I'll be honest with you, Stan, he's done a lot behind the scenes that it's just been a lot of glue about keeping these Zoom meetings going and keeping it rolling. And that's, I think in this time, has been what we needed, because God help you if you had to wait on me to do it all. I mean, but it's going. I think these hybrids and our Zoom meetings are kind of starting to come together a bit more. We're working on service projects, things that our club can do in the community so we can get out there again and help those, because I think it's going to be a hard year. Some people here are fortunate, but in our area and in the world, I think the next year or so is going to be tough, and it's going to need Rotary more than ever. And speaking of such, Stan, why don't you tell us just a brief 20-second about the Rotary or the Relief Foundation's grant?
Yeah.
And we're just trying to do a little pass through or donor help, but I'm going to turn you over so you can watch.
Okay.
Maybe more like a minute or two.
Hi, guys. Want to talk about, I got a request to the club from the Outer Banks Relief Foundation. Their fundraiser got canceled, but they came across a donor that offered them a matching grant for $25,000 if they could bring up the first 25,000. That's the same way we work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for their polio grant. Theirs is a few $1 million. This is only a few thousand, but they were requesting money to help them meet this matching grant. We don't have a lot of money in the club that we can use right now, kind of holding on to what we're doing, but I'm going to be sending out an email asking for personal donations to the Outer Banks Relief Foundation. I'm going to send mine to the club foundation, and I'll give you instructions on that. And it will appear that the club will be giving them the money. We will get the tax break for donating to our 501c3, and our club foundation can then move the money over to the Outer Banks Relief Foundation. So help them make that $24,000 match that they need that by the end of the month. So before the end of the week, I'll have an email out, and it will be separate from the other updates about what's going on in the club, because things are starting to happen and we need to reconnect with everybody getting things moving forward. So it's great to see all of you on the Zoom and those people here in the meeting. Great, thanks.
All right. Does anyone else, Zoom or regular club-wise, have any announcements?
Okay.
Hearing none, let's do the 50-50. How much did we bring in today?
$68.
It's got to be around $600-700. $3,465,000.
I mean, I've got $1 million bill to put in there. That ought to get me some tickets, right?
Should.
All right, I'm on.
Tradition, we're going to ask you to pull a couple of these tickets for us. The first one is going to be for the pot. All right, set that one to the side.
All right.
And then draw one more, and this is for a gift certificate giveaway that we do.
Okay.
All right, if you'll read that second one out first.
The second one first. Last four, 3733.
3733.
3733.
Right before me then.
After me.
This one is not.
733.
Here we got one.
3733.
Oh,
Missed it by that much.
yeah, you don't really want this one.
There's your gift certificate.
Okay.
And then if you'll read out the second one, this is for the pot.
Last three or four?
Last four.
Last four. 3696.
Oh man, just pass it.
Yeah, what's going
Right
on
after
here?
me.
Is that yours, Sam?
3696.
96?
3696.
No, I got 30. Well, I do.
Oh.
I was counting backwards.
There you go.
He always wins.
Yes, it does.
No, just a
Always.
couple times.
Always. All right.
Well, we'll see how lucky you really are.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask you. Did you want a break?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
He did.
You hit it the next week.
I know, but it wasn't much.
Yeah.
Is that like a reverse lottery winning?
Yeah.
This one looks good. Oh,
We live another week.
Another week.
There you go. All
Get another
right.
bookmark.
Sorry about
Cool.
that.
oh, it was fun anyway.
It was fun anyway.
Close. It was close.
All right. Well, once again, great to have everyone out. As we close the meeting, let's do the four-way test. The things we think, say, or do. The truth. Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And adjourn with our motto, service most simple. And before we go, I do have one thing. We, as our present to the district governor, we'd like to present one of
All
the
right.
last available
I'm on
2019 Oinkin Oyster.
the rare and highly coveted acres.
Rare and highly coveted.
All right. Thank you very much. And I cook, so I'll be using this.
Oh,
thing.
good.
Yeah, this
They
is
work
great.
great.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining. We'll see you Zoom next week.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Good to see you.